Dad threw me out at 13 because stepmom hated me. Now, he wants me back. When I was 13, my stepmom Tracy convinced my dad I was stealing from her purse. She'd come home from work crying, saying money was missing again. It's always when she's here, she'd tell my dad, pointing at me. I wasn't taking anything, but who's going to believe a 13-year-old over a sobbing adult? My dad sat me down with this disappointed look and said I had to go live with my Aunt Mary until I learned to respect other people's property. I remember packing my stuff in garbage bags, crying and swearing I didn't take anything, but my dad just stood there watching, shaking his head like I was some lost cause. Living with Aunt Mary wasn't terrible, but it wasn't home. For 5 years, my relationship with my dad was basically non-existent. He'd send awkward birthday cards and sometimes call on holidays, but we both knew things were broken between us. I threw myself into school, made honor roll every semester, got into state college on partial scholarship. I built a life without him because I had to. Then last Tuesday, I got the weirdest call ever. It was Mrs. Callahan, my dad's next-door neighbor. Honey, I thought you should know. Your stepmom got arrested yesterday. FBI raided the house and everything. I was confused. Arrested for what? Credit card fraud, identity theft, bunch of financial crimes. Been going on for years apparently. Your poor father's been sleeping in his car since they seized the house. My first thought wasn't sympathy for my dad. It was this sick feeling in my stomach like puzzle pieces clicking together. 2 days later, my dad calls me for the first time in 8 months. He's crying before he even says hello. I found something, he said. Tracy had a whole folder on her computer called Frame the Kid. Screenshots of our bank statements, notes about when to blame you for missing money. She even recorded herself practicing crying in the bathroom mirror. The room started spinning. This woman had literally planned my exile like some twisted movie plot. She was stealing from us the whole time, my dad continued, taking cash, using our cards, even took out loans in my name. When the amounts got too big to hide, she'd blame you, and I'd stop looking for the real problem. The FBI investigation revealed everything. Tracy had been running credit card scams for 3 years before she even met my dad. She'd specifically targeted him because he was a single father, someone isolated who'd believe her over his own kid. She'd stolen over $80,000 from my dad, destroyed his credit, and almost cost him his job when the fraud investigation reached his workplace. The house I grew up in? Gone. His savings? Gone. His relationship with his daughter? Also gone. Yesterday, my dad showed up at my apartment unannounced. He looked terrible, unshaven, wearing the same clothes from 3 days ago, dark circles under his eyes. I know I messed up, he said, standing in my doorway like a broken man, but you're my blood. You're all I have left. Family forgives family, right? I stared at him for a long moment. This man who'd chosen a criminal over his own daughter, who'd watched me pack my life into garbage bags and never questioned if he was making a mistake, who'd let me feel like a thief for 5 years. You want to know what's funny? I said, leaning against my doorframe. For 5 years, I kept hoping you'd call and say you believed me, that you missed me, that you realized you were wrong. I used to practice what I'd say when you finally apologized. His face lit up like maybe this conversation was going in his favor. But I don't need that anymore, I continued. I built a life without you. I learned that people who truly love you don't throw you away the first time someone lies about you. Real family doesn't abandon you when it gets inconvenient. Please, he whispered. I lost everything. Don't let me lose you too. You lost me 5 years ago when you chose her word over mine. This is just you finally realizing it. I closed the door and went back to studying for my finals. Some mistakes don't get second chances.